Everyone says forgiveness is strength, but what if the person who forgives the most is actually the one losing the most power? Think about it for a second. You're the one who lets things go, the one who says, "It's fine," the one who keeps the peace. People call you mature. They say you're emotionally strong. But here's the question nobody asks. If forgiveness is so powerful, why are you the one who keeps getting hurt? In the world of dark psychology, patterns matter more than intentions. And when someone forgives every single time, something slowly changes. Your kindness stops looking like strength. It starts looking predictable. And the moment you become predictable, you become safe to disrespect. People stop worrying about consequences. They stop thinking twice before crossing a line. Why? Because they already know the ending. You'll forgive them again and again and again. At first, it feels noble, like you're rising above the drama. But over time, something shifts. You're not protecting peace anymore. You're quietly teaching people how to treat you. And the next part is even darker. Because the real damage isn't what people do to you. It's what constant forgiveness starts doing inside your mind. And once that process begins, it slowly starts erasing your sense of power. Here's something most people never realize. Forgiveness is powerful, but only when it's rare. When forgiveness becomes automatic, people start seeing it differently. Your forgiveness stops looking like grace. It starts looking like permission. Human behavior works on a simple rule. People test boundaries, sometimes with jokes, sometimes with small acts of disrespect, sometimes with broken promises. At first, they watch your reaction. Do you confront it? Do you push back? Or do you smile and say, "Don't worry about it"? The moment you remove the cost of crossing your boundary, you remove the reason not to cross it again. This is one of the silent rules of human behavior. People rarely repeat actions that have consequences, but they almost always repeat actions that get forgiven instantly. And slowly, something changes. You stop being the respected person in the relationship. You become the safe person, the one who understands everything, the one who absorbs mistakes, the one who never explodes. At first, it looks like emotional maturity, but over time, it creates a dangerous imbalance. A relationship where only one person pays the emotional cost. And eventually, your forgiveness stops protecting the relationship. It starts protecting their behavior. But the next stage is even more dangerous. Because the real damage of constant forgiveness doesn't happen outside. It happens inside you. And that's where self-respect starts to quietly disappear. This is where the silent agony begins. Forgiving someone once or twice isn't the problem. The real problem begins when forgiveness becomes your identity. You become the calm one, the understanding one, the one who always takes the high road. But every time you ignore your anger just to keep peace, your mind learns something dangerous. It learns that your feelings don't matter. And when that lesson repeats enough times, your self-respect starts fading. Slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, you begin to rationalize everything. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's not that serious. Maybe they didn't mean it that way. But deep down, you know something is wrong. You feel the resentment building, the exhaustion, the quiet frustration that nobody notices. Because while everyone praises your patience, no one sees the emotional weight you carry. And here's the twist most people miss. When you stop respecting your own boundaries, other people subconsciously stop respecting them too. They can feel it. In your hesitation, in your tone, in the way you forgive before anyone even apologizes. And that's the moment everything changes. Because now, you're no longer just forgiving people. You're teaching them that hurting you comes with no consequences. And that realization leads to an even darker truth. Sometimes, people don't just rely on your forgiveness. They start using it. Here's the moment everything flips. Most people believe forgiveness heals relationships. But sometimes, It removes the last barrier protecting you. Human behavior follows incentives. If mistakes carry consequences, people become careful. But if mistakes are always forgiven, the risk disappears. And when risk disappears, behavior changes. Replies get slower. Promises get weaker. Disrespect becomes casual. And you begin hearing the same words again and again. You're the only one who understands. You're so patient. You're different from everyone else. It sounds like praise, but in reality, it's the language people use when they know they can push further. This is the forgiveness trap. The moment your kindness stops being a gift and becomes a predictable system. And the painful part? You stay, believing your patience will eventually inspire change. You believe your kindness will fix everything. But human nature has a brutal rule. People rarely change behavior that already works in their favor. And if your forgiveness protects them from consequences, there is no reason for them to change. Which leads to the final realization. Escaping this cycle doesn't require becoming cold. It requires something far more powerful. Learning when not to forgive. Here's the truth most people never learn. Forgiveness was never meant to be automatic. It was meant to be earned. Real forgiveness comes after accountability, after effort, after someone proves they respect the damage they caused. But when forgiveness is given before any of that, it stops being grace. It becomes surrender. Reclaiming your power doesn't mean becoming bitter. It means restoring your boundaries, your voice, your right to say, enough. Anger isn't always weakness. Sometimes, it's information. It tells people where your limits are. It tells them your peace has value. And once people realize crossing your boundary has consequences, something interesting happens. The manipulation stops. The disrespect fades. And the people who stayed only because you were easy to forgive disappear. Which might feel painful at first, but it's actually freedom. Because the strongest person in any relationship is not the one who forgives everything. It's the one whose forgiveness is rare, intentional, and earned. So if you've been the one who always forgives, ask yourself one question. Are you protecting peace? Or are you slowly erasing yourself? Because the moment you stop forgiving automatically, you stop being the safety net, and you become something far more powerful. Someone who can no longer be used.